It's FPHL hockey here on the Delmarva Sports Network, the final contest of 2022 for Delaware as the lights turn back on here at the center ice rink. What's going on, friends? Zach Parnes of the Delmarva Sports Network here alongside, well, it's just me tonight. Thanks for joining us. We have a great game ahead of us. I believe the national anthem is coming up here in just a moment for the Thunder and the Danbury Hat Tricks, who are going in a back-to-back contest. Our country honored for one last time here in the calendar year of 2022. The Thunder trying to end this year on a good note if they can. They've lost 17 contests in a row, and tonight's contest is not going to be easy against the Danbury Hat Tricks. Let's take a look at who's going to be starting out there at center ice right now. The five on each side. Danbury, red hot, 3 wins in a row. They got Dustin Jasso out there, along with Mike Marchesson, Michael Lopez, Cody Gibbs, Kyle Gonzalez, and Frankie McClendon. And then for the hometown Thunder, it's Rasmus Asp, Jack Lane, Austin Weber, Dennis Gafarov, J.C. Moritz. And then in goal, as per usual, Trevor Martin. So here we go. Last contest of the year. This one filed down and ice already, which is going to bring the things back into the Danbury offensive zone. Last season, the Hat Tricks third in the FPHL, 36-22-3. They lost to the Columbus River Dragons in the playoffs. But this year, they are fitting themselves to be one of the best squads in the Federal Prospect Hockey League. They were able to dismantle Delaware last night 6-1. 4 goals scored in the second period, and 6 different guys did all the scoring as well. How about Marchesson, Falanga, McDonald? They all got a piece of the pie, and we'll be able to see those gentlemen later on today as the first shot just misses away. That was Marchesson, who puts it into the blocker of Martin. Cycles things once more. Errant shot goes into a pack of the Thunder. The Nordic vibes high here tonight as people are in jerseys and headwear aplenty. An excellent way to ring in 2023 here in the first state. There's a little bit of pressure here from Marchesson. Rasmus Asp gets to it here on the defensive side. Moritz tried to play it along, ends up turning it over. Now it's dumped inside, back around on the trapezoid. That's Jasso, who leads this team in goals with 17 this year, was able to add 1 yesterday. Play is up towards Jasso, but unable to make it there. Falanga goes inside, shot opportunity, saved by Martin, and it pops back out. Danbury very much on the offensive right now, but it looks like Delaware is going to get an opportunity right here. Daniluk the pass, and Delaney unable to finish. JT Delaney, a new addition to the Delaware roster. This is his third game tonight in the black uniform in Harrington. Play goes back into central ice. Malushkin was the first one to it. Reestablished. Lots of injuries on both sides. Brendan Sheehan inactive for Danbury tonight. The Thunder are without Alex Susi and a number of other weapons. They almost lost Austin Weber, who ended up making it into the starting five, but Weber wearing a big old mask to cover up a broken nose he suffered last night. Martin will field it in the trapezoid and plays it on to Asp. Gets it across the boards to Bazarin. Now up in front. It's a nice push here. Charles DeBow, a brand new addition, doesn't even have his last name on the back of the jersey over there. Back at center ice, Weber took a bit of a hit there for a second. Able to get back up as the offense begins to build here. Thunder, though, able to get back to it. Martin plays it across. Now Weber dumps it back towards Daniluk. Moritz wanted to go over on the right side there, but was unable to complete the pass. Andrei Ivanov returning to the lineup tonight. We expect to see some good minutes from him. Daniluk now trapped inside. Rebound here that's going to go for the hat tricks, and the shot attempt came in. Dustin Gesso just put it a hair wide, and it flicks into the net. So an offensive zone opportunity here for Danbury. Head coach Billy McCreary over there is just a hockey guy through and through. Spent time playing with the Trenton Titans, Huntsville Havoc, the New Mexico Scorpions, and the New Jersey Outlaws. He's also been a player coach in a lot of different organizations. And back in the day, Coach McCreary got the opportunity to share the line with Zach Parise of the Minnesota Wild. The aforementioned Ivanov gets his first touch of the puck thus far. JT Delaney in there now. Oganezov, the defender along with Ivanov right now, so expect to see 2 and 21 out there quite a bit. Offensive opportunity here. This is Falanga, who controls the puck, fires over to the side, and a near side shot. Unbelievable goaltending from Trevor Martin, who just knocked the cage loose for a second. Officials are going to see what's going on here. I believe it will be a face-off in the offensive zone. Actually going to come back out here to the neutral. Evan Lugo, wearing number 15 tonight. Unable to win the draw there for Danbury, and instead the Thunder will take over. Pressure up ahead and a quick stoppage on the ice, and it looks like it's going to be for an aggressive check here. Cross-checking called against Matt Bazarin, who will make his way to the penalty box for the first time tonight. After this, Bazarin will have 75 total penalty minutes for the Thunder, despite only playing 12 games for them thus far this season. Lugo's going to go with Chris Corrigan here, so 2 number 15s on the ice. For those that didn't know, Thunder with a brand new head coach now on the bench. That's Brian Verbeek, whose brother was a star in the NHL and the current general manager of the Anaheim Ducks. Lou Santini was not fired from his position, still stays on the bench as an assistant coach, but will transition more into the general manager type role that he initially served for Delaware. Fast break, but Gonzalez is first to it. Lost his footing for a second there, was rapidly pursued and in tight by Weber. Now it's Johnny Ruiz, takes the shot on, and Martin uses his right shoulder to stop it and the hands to grab it. Delaware with no shots thus far. On the other side, quite a few for Danbury as we get our first stoppage of the game. A quick timeout here. Bazarin still in the penalty box, so Delaware has been decent on the penalty kill this year, but certainly not remarkable at 69% of their attempts without a goal. Meanwhile, for Danbury, they've been one of the worst power play teams in the entire FPHL, just converting 14% of their chances. That was a big thing that was discussed when I had the chance to talk with Chris Lynch, the broadcaster over for Danbury. He said this team just has so much talent, but finishing in those 5-on-4 opportunities tends to be difficult. But we'll see if the hat tricks are able to correct previous mistakes and get back to scoring ways. Put up 4 unanswered last night. That ended up turning into 5 with a garbage time goal in the third period. Jesso's out there with Dmitry Kuznetsov. Jared Yao on the defense. And then Gordy Bunnell, who was questionable coming into this game, had dealt with a ton of different injuries, is from right over the bridge in Mechanicsville, Maryland. Kuznetsov up towards the blue line, plays it inside. Martin just barely missed it away there. Rasmus Asp trying the poke check. It does work for him. And now it's played back up to Kuznetsov. And across the offensive zone, dump back in. Kuznetsov with Corrigan. Now around the bend, it's Dustin Jesso. Jesso with a nice fake, able to move it inside to Gordy Bunnell. Jesso's got to work to get it back here, though. Passes inside, and nobody was there. That would have been an absolute perfect opportunity, but Gordy Bunnell's pass unreceived. Jesso now to Yao. Goes across, Kuznetsov shot that goes off the right blocker of Martin. And played out and ahead as we've got 20 seconds left in the power play for the Hat Tricks. Figure they get one more opportunity here in these last 15 seconds. Dennis Gafarov applying some pressure. Now it's played on ahead. Falanga skated the whole way around before finding Jesso. Jesso with a nice move, has an opportunity here, takes the shot, but it is stopped by Gafarov, who was able to put his body in front, but another Hat Tricks chance goes wide. Defensive effort from Daniluk there. Weber absorbs a big hit into the boards from Jesso. Austin Weber already a little banged up. Probably wasn't too happy to have that one come his way. Trevor Martin catches that one in his breadbasket and freezes it. He stood up and went to dump it in the trapezoid, but I think the puck just didn't come out. Officials are going to break up a little scuffle here by Jack Lane, a new addition to this Thunder team, and then with Dmitry Kuznetsov, who is headed back to his bench on a line change. Danbury have won 3 in a row. Certainly looking for that 4th win here if they can muster it. Tristan Mock able to win the faceoff for Danbury. He's got it now. Dumps to Gonzalez, who feeds it in, looking for Falanga, but had just a bit too much sauce on that one. Brendan O'Reilly now. Out and ahead, Thunder looked like they had their first solid offensive opportunity, but it was taken away very briefly. Lugo puts it off the skate of Moritz. And Martin uses the stick to dump this thing back. Oganezov hit from behind there by Robertson. No hands are up, though. And now it's the good old-fashioned rugby scrum up against the boards. One away by the Hat-Tricks. McDonald takes the shot, goes off the glass. That one came out with a ton of intensity. Johnny McDonald had to get out of the way, otherwise he would have had his head taken off. Lugo going one-on-one, off a skate, and into the netting. So an offensive zone face-off on the way for the Hat-Tricks. We're going to have Dowler, Richards, Kuznetsov, and Gordy Bunnell. Gordy, the left-hander, second on this team in points. Sixth on this team in points with 16 this season. 10 assists, 6 goals for him. Thunder get their opportunity here. And play back in and across. The Thunder are going to get their first icing to go their way today. So now a face-off coming in the offensive zone. You figure that Corgan will take this one. He's out there with Malushkin. Ivanov coming in. Weber. Jack Lord, Dennis Gafarov. Jack Lane wins the faceoff. He's been great already despite limited appearances for Delaware. Weber plays up to Ivanov. Shoots, and it goes off the blocker of Frankie McClendon. First time we get to hear his name today. Kuznetsov feeds across. This is Bunnell. Got a nice opportunity, skates it around, and no shots were there. Martin had to do another big-time split, though, to make the save and was able to do it. And Oganezov plays it back in across, but there was nobody there, so the Hat-Tricks take over again. Shot opportunity from Marchessault, no way. He had to hesitate with it for a second there as it just came off his tape on the stick. Ivanov now with it. Plays up ahead. Lane dumps it in. And McClendon able to get back to it. Frankie McClendon actually the backup goalkeeper for the Danbury Hat-Tricks there. Mainstay Brian Wilson was in action last night. He's going to get the night off today, barring any craziness for Danbury. Many believe that Brian Wilson could be the best goalie in the FPHL, hands down. Sad we're not going to be able to see him. Corgan does a little back-and-forth passing with Gafarov, and that is unsuccessful. Daniluk feeds over to Moritz. The Thunder seemingly starting to get their skates into the offensive zone more and more often here, and that frequency certainly to be appreciated by the new head coach, Brian Verbeek, who is spending his first time on the bench in a solo capacity. Gibbs able to feed it past JT Delaney. Picked up by Marchessault, who goes back over towards Martin, who blockers it very easily to Rasmus Asp. Asp now skates into neutral ice. Looked to dump it in, but it was swatted out of the air by Jared Yao. Danbury, of course, coming from a rich hockey tradition in general, as a shot opportunity misses away. Still danger here, though, for the Thunder. And an incomplete opportunity there. Brendan Dowler was unable to do anything with it and just lost his skates. But Danbury, actually an organization that owns 3 hockey teams. No, one of them is not the Danbury Trashers. They are old news in history. Quite a good documentary, though. For those who haven't seen it, would highly recommend. Bazarin went for the hit on Dowler. Missed there for a second. Played inside. Picked back up by Marchessault after Bazarin sliced it down. Robertson. Now Mock looking to play it in ahead. This is Lugo. Lugo trying to use the speed. Martin had to put a stick to it very briefly. The puck is on the back of the net right now and cycled around. So lots of good looks, but so far nothing really working here as a lob pass is thrown in. Robertson is going to have to battle for that one, but was able to win it away with ease. Thunder are also missing Alex Basie tonight, who's out for 3 weeks with a broken orbital bone. Basie, just one of the premier defenders for this squad, also known to drop the gloves a time or two. But instead, the primary defenders for the Thunder tonight are going to be Daniluk, Ivanov, Rasmus Asp, and J.C. Moritz. And then that guy right there, Eric Oganezov and Justin Movali. Kuznetsov, now with a one-on-one opportunity, tried to dump inside, but no one was there. Johnny Ruiz was looking for career goal 101 in the FPHL. Kuznetsov's got it. Plays it across. Danbury doing a really great job with time of possession thus far as they will dump this one in. Trevor Martin had to get to it, and now we'll flick it away to on the other side. Dmitry Daniluk, and we have an ice here. Just going to bring things down. 7:18 to go in period number 1. We have a brief intermission for a second, so we're going to take a break here on DSN, but we'll be right back for first period hockey. Harrington, Delaware, the site for this FPHL clash. The Delaware Thunder have been doing a good job containing this relentless offense from Danbury thus far. And there have just been a lot of offensive attempts from the hat tricks, who are really running this thing right now, just out shooting Delaware with relative ease. The Thunder have started to turn things here. Dustin Gesso out there with Chris Corrigan. That's the face-off as we start up period 1 again. 7:15 on the clock. Thunder already have spent 2 minutes in the penalty box. That was Matthew Bazarin with the cross-check. Officials making sure we are all good, and they say so. Puck has finally dropped, and it is won here by the hat tricks. Trevor Martin had to do some crafty stick work there to keep things away from him. Gibbs finals in. Marchesson was looking for the redirect, but is unable to do so. Daniluk up ahead. JT Delaney passes out in front for Corrigan, who wasn't able to keep possession. And Martin is now in a difficult situation. Tried the 2-on-1 Marchesson. Went to his knee and was looking for the back of the net, but unable to do so. Pressure down towards the other side. No icing called here. Malushkin. He's the aggressor for Delaware right now. Kyle Gonzalez, though, looking to clear this thing out. It's going to stay in the offensive zone for the Thunder. Lane able to poke it around. Now he gets control. Funnels it along the boards to Asp. Asp kicks down. And there's Dennis Gafarov, the team leader and scorer. And Delaware going to play this one conservative here, get some new legs out on the ice potentially in a moment. Rasmus Asp working one-on-one, now collapsed on, able to play it back over the blue line, though. Reestablished here by Dmitry Kuznetsov. Lane looking, funnels it across. There's Asp. Got the opportunity, fires it, and the right elbow is used by Frankie McClendon. Certainly good offensive effort here from the Thunder. A much better couple of minutes than they had in those opening 5 or 6, where it was all Danbury the entire game long. Now, these two teams, I expect things to get chippy because they have spent their fair amount of time in the penalty box in their last 2 matchups. There's last matchup, just one game, 142 penalty minutes last time we were out here. Chris Corrigan looks like he took a puck to the face for a moment, or at least a stick. He's a little bit dazed as the 3-on-2 opportunity awaits for Danbury, but they're unable to do anything with it. Oganezov. Looks like a piece of the puck may have broken off there at center ice. Pushed ahead by Delaney. Now up against the boards, an attempt from Malushkin to dump things in. He's able to get his stick to it, though, inside of the blue line. Plays it off the boards to himself. Inside, Delaney. Corgan reaching for it. Goes to Rasmus Asp, who fires. And the knuckler rolls around. Sets up an opportunity here. That one was missed away. And Malushkin drops to a knee, unable to get it there. And great puck control here from Danbury, specifically Dmitry Kuznetsov, who feeds ahead to Michael Falanga. Falanga from Northford, Connecticut. An extreme speed demon as the puck was flicked up and out. That's in Souvenir City now for the fans. Two notables missing for Danbury tonight. Zach Pamelian with a shoulder injury, played at King's College and has been one of the primary scorers for Danbury thus this season, as we get a quick break here on the ice. But if you look at the kind of stuff that he has been able to contribute this season, 6 goals, 8 assists, 14 points, and his shot percentage the highest on the entire team at 22. So Danbury sad not to have number 55 out there. They're also missing Daniel Amsbury, who's on a 13-game suspension for excessive fighting. It's a long time. The Thunder are going to put Bazarin back out there now. See who he finds himself with. I want to thank you guys for joining us here on the Delmarva Sports Network on this fantastic New Year's Eve. It's a little rainy on the Delmarva Peninsula, but it's certainly dry and cold the inside here of the Thunderdome. Nice little crowd here tonight for New Year's Eve. Last night, sold-out crowd of 730. Lugo will work inside. Bazarin trying to get things out for the Thunder here, and they do clear it to center ice. Played alongside. Martin's there. And we'll flick it back towards Moritz and Bazarin. But the puck still within the offensive zone. That was a quick chance from Dowler. Martin thought he had it for a second and was just ready to freeze it, but it had trickled away from him for a brief moment. Intense one-on-one play on the boards here. Thunder still just unable to get this bugaboo here in the offensive zone as Martin lunges for it like a hungry, hungry hippo there, grabbing the ball. Only in this case, it was the puck. Things are going to get increasingly ridiculous on the air here, folks, especially with a solo broadcast. Bazarin doing a whole lot of talking right now. On the inside, he has gone after Brendan Dowler verbally and physically a few times in this game. Shot goes there and is just wide and high. That one from Kyle Gonzalez. Daniluk. Applying good pressure along the boards, but the Thunder looking for anything. Gafarov thought he had a breakaway opportunity, but it was not to be. Richards now funnels it down to Martin, who says, we'll just take our time with this one. Austin Weber going at the likes of Mike Marchesson over there, which is quite interesting. Weber, a bit of a smaller guy. Meanwhile, Marchesson, one of the biggest guys on the ice and one of the biggest wings in the FPHL at 6'5", 215. Folks, don't forget to download the brand new Delmarva Sports Network app available for iPhone and Android users. It's absolutely free. You'll be able to watch live Delaware hockey broadcasts, along with some other great college and high school athletics on the Delmarva Peninsula. You can also check out some highlights, scores, see stories, and more. The Delmarva Sports Network app, just waiting for you to go to the App Store. Johnny Ruiz and Chris Corgan on the face-off here. Ruiz just An absolute player coach through and through. Spent some time with the Elmira Enforcers back when they were called the Enforcers. Scored 10 goals from them, but otherwise has scored 90 in a Danbury uniform. And if you did your math right, that means correct. Yes, 100 for Johnny Ruiz. Malushkin hit hard. Tied up was JT Delaney, but it's passed across now. 277s work on each other, Asp and Kuznetsov. Asp has to dump it back into Daniluk. Thunder have been routinely in their own zone right now and having to play inside and outside the trapezoid. But it looks like they have some momentum here. Chris Corrigan able to get things across. Looking to skate it around. Close opportunity that went inside the painted area. But it is corralled and sent out for a moment there. Johnny McDonald was able to clear it. It's sent down. Tristan Mock has 2 Thunder defenders on his back. Former Westfield State guy looking to make his impact. But look out, it's Denis Gafarov on the one-on-one here. Feeds back inside. Bazarin went to go backhand, but nothing was there. J.C. Moritz. Nobody was home on that pass either. So now Marchesson brings it back up. He takes the shot. Martin saw it coming towards the 5-hole and closes the legs, able to make the play. Oganezov. Puck got away from everyone there and is reset back to Yao. And Dustin Gesso whiffed on that one. Trying to find him again. Danbury, good control thus far. Shot comes out from Gesso from the blue line, but it is kicked away. Now fielded by Seamus Lombard. Lombard, a relatively new addition for the Thunder. Did some college hockey at UMass Amherst. The D2 level. Graduated in the start of this year, and is now living the dream in Delaware. An opportunity here for Lane, who went to go for the backhand, but an excellent kick from Frankie McClendon as we've got a penalty upcoming. So the Thunder are going to get their first power play opportunity here. Or maybe just out of play. Hard to see on the broadcast booth considering we're right over the benches, which is where that puck can find itself on a number of opportunities. Yeah, so we'll be 5-on-5. Actually, the play was stopped due to the dislodged goal as we're taking a look at the officials putting that thing back together. Corrigan's out there to take the face-off. Unable to win it. Cody Gibbs does. Malushkin, inside of 60 seconds in the first period. Corrigan plays it across the blue line, gets it to Ivanov. Malushkin now with it. Takes the shot. It was caught for a moment. JT Delaney was right in front of the cage, but had no dice. Ivanov looks to play it back across. Corrigan and Kuznetsov going to the boards here. Chris is the winner. And the Thunder have the opportunity to set up one final time. 20 ticks of the clock left here in the Thunderdome, and we have a delayed penalty that's going to be on the way. So Martin heading to the bench in a hurry. And for a brief moment, a trip. And I think the Thunder are just going to hold this thing so they can start the next period with 2 full minutes of 5-on-4 hockey, and they will do exactly that. End of the first there. Dmitry Daniluk and company are going to start 5-on-4 after Gordy Bunnell was reaching around with the stick and is going to get called at the trip afterwards. But hey, successful first period. Potentially successful, depending on how you look at it. The Thunder tied up with Danbury. Hat-tricks have had a ton of opportunities, but recently the Thunder starting to bring their own lightning to the party. We'll be right back with FBHL Hockey on the Delmarva Sports Network. who are knotted up at 0. Let's take a look at the game stats thus far. As we can see, Danbury just doing the absolute most. 18 shot attempts. A few of them came very early on. Trevor Martin has had his work cut out for him, as he has this entire FPHL season. Head coach Brian Verbeek, the new man on the bench for Delaware, has said that getting those defensive pairings is going to be critical if this squad wants to be able to rise up from bottom of the table in the FPHL. First half highlights coming up here. Have the opportunity to see them right now, actually. And surprise, surprise, it's Trevor Martin making a ton of saves early on. He's in his 8th pro league, began his career in 2013 with the White Court Wolverines in the AJHL. Used to attend the University of Waterloo in Ontario, and now he's put himself between the pipes. This was the close opportunity that could have gone for Mike Marchesson had he made some contact there, but was unable to do so. Thunder finally started peppering the net, though, a bit later on in the first period. Martin had to get to that one there and ends up making a diving play. That was the Hungry Hungry Hippo-esque thing. But a good leap and reach there for number 30 to keep things going. And this was the Thunder's best try where they were able to put things up in front, but unfortunately, Eric Oganezov, the Stavropol, Russia native, wasn't able to claim that one through, and neither was Jack Lane, who is brand new to this squad. Action has obviously paused here for a moment as we're in between periods. We're excited to have you here on DSN for this presentation of FPHL hockey. Crowd out and about. Good mix of families, young folks here today. We're going to get the chance to see even more hockey coming up next on the Delmarva Sports Network, but stick with us. We're going to take a look at season stats for both of these squads and then, of course, dive back in to the second period of play. Taking a look at the relatively empty bench of the Danbury Hat Trick, soon to be filled with young men who are just firing at will against the Thunder. Danbury outshooting the Thunder considerably in period number one, though Delaware's best shots did come towards the end. There's everyone's favorite ice-laden vehicle, Zamboni. Got to have a special license to drive one of those. I don't actually know that. Don't think that's fact. It looks fun, though. Could that be fact? Maybe an opinion, but I think one that would be shared by a lot of people, so we could call it factual. 0-0 the score here between Danbury and the Delaware Thunder. Hey, if you're watching DSN on Facebook, we would love to know what you guys are getting into for New Year's Eve. Feel free to leave us a comment on the stream, see what's going on in your hood. You know what we're doing? We're watching pro hockey. That's what we're doing. Delmarva Sports Network crew, happy to have you here. Just got off a week of the Governor's Challenge at the Wicomico Youth and Civic Center, one of the best holiday basketball tournaments in the country, and now we have moved from the hardwood to the ice. Taking a look at the season stats for both of these squadrons. Danbury certainly with some impressive numbers across the board, especially in those average goals per game, putting up 5 a contest. 19-3-2 this year, compared to the Thunder's 21-1. Delaware has lost 17 in a row, hoping that they can get a nice little New Year's memory to remember with a win. Sad thing is, none of the guys can go over and celebrate at Harrington Casino. The casino's shut down right now, for those that didn't know. Apparently it was those no-good meddling kids trying to hack a couple machines here or there. But gambling news aside, got a game on our hands. The hammer and axe there for Nordic Power. Great Odin's Raven. That's a Penguin. We don't have any affiliation to the Pittsburgh Penguins or the Wilkes-Barre Scranton ones, but we'll take it. We'll take the shot here on DSN. 7 minutes to go in the power play. As you can tell, I'm having a great time on the solo broadcast myself. Delaware just in their 4th year of existence, friends, but still putting a competitive product out there night in and night out. Last season, though, 9-42-1. They were the odd team out of the postseason in the FPHL. Their former goalie, Trevor Babin, giving up 5.5 goals a game. The other Trevor here, Martin, has been far more successful. Ryan Marker, who was traded a bit ago, led the team in points last year as well with 95, but Marker's trade kind of coming as a surprise to a lot of people within the FPHL. But in exchange, they were able to get a couple of much-needed defensemen, especially while Alex Basie is still hurt, in Dimitri Daniluk and Charles DeBow IV. DeBow IV from Rockville, Maryland. Really awesome story he is for this program. His grandfather, Charles DeBow Jr., actually one of the original Tuskegee Airmen during World War II. So hats off to the DeBow family and to Charles Jr. for his service. We had military night here a couple of weeks ago. Delaware Thunder always like to theme their evenings if they can. Tonight, a minimal theme, though. Just people in their New Year's clothing. Some people have got 2023 already on their heads, though. Yeah, there we go. Well, Happy New Year hat. Need as many of those as we can get. And Facebook. On Facebook, you're able to watch our live games and also submit for a superstar of tomorrow. Do you know a young athlete on the peninsula who is hoping to play at the next level or at least be the starter on their varsity team come 9th grade? Send us a message on Zuckerberg's platform. And we will feature your child on the Final Score, airing twice a day, Monday to Friday on DSN. Still in the first intermission here. But when we come back, we got hockey coming our way. Zach Parnes on the Delmarva Sports Network. This is the Delaware Thunder. They're tied at 0 with Danbury. We'll be right back. Having a couple cold ones for me right now as the Thunder are gearing back up for 20 minutes of play. We are excited to have that play here on the Delmarva Sports Network. Remind you guys, you can watch the games on the app or over on the Delmarva Sports Network Facebook page as well. Getting ready to roll here with the number 3 team in their respective division and the number 1 team in their respective division. Danbury and Delaware begin. Here we go. Brought over across Johnny Ruiz, a little over eager there. Now remember that penalty last time around, assessed against Danbury. It's going to mean that the Thunder open this thing on a power play. A 5-on-4 opportunity. Gordy Bunnell in the box. Corrigan's going to get sent off here after jumping just a bit early on the faceoff, which is going to force Daniluk to take the faceoff. And it is immediately won by Johnny Ruiz, who was just hoping for an opportunity like that. Daniluk, meanwhile, had to skate out for a moment. There's a stick errant on the ice right now. Corrigan and company press it across. First look on the power play for the Thunder. Gafarov. Now back up to Daniluk. Goes to Malushkin. Back to Daniluk. Skates in, fires, and it was off of the mask there of Frankie McClendon. A minute 20 left in the power play here. New units come on out. The killers for Danbury are going to be Marchessault, Gesso, Yao, and then Brendan Dowler. And for the Thunder, it's Corrigan, Ivanov, Malushkin, Gafarov, and Seamus Lombard. Corrigan able to win the faceoff. Thunder now along the blue line. Daniluk fires off the right blocker, and a second shot opportunity from Malushkin found its way directly into the breadbasket. One heck of a save there from Frankie McClendon, who was able to just put his body perfectly where it needed to be. Same units for both squads. We begin again. And it's cleared all the way back down. Trevor Martin skates laterally to it. 60 seconds left on the power play now. Thunder play it ahead. It's Gafarov. Looks to move it to himself. Line drived across the boards there. That was Mike Marchessault, who absorbs the hit, albeit briefly, from Andrei Ivanov. And the Thunder reset. Malushkin across the blue line. Spins. He and Ivanov play some catch. Now Denis Gafarov. 25 seconds to go on the power play. Malushkin skates in, fires, and chest pad and down. Frankie McClendon with another big stop here. Thunder aren't the best team on the power play, but they're certainly better than Danbury at 19% compared to the Hat-Trick's 14, which is the worst in the FPHL. Jack Lane out there on the faceoff. He's going against Johnny Ruiz, one-on-one. Lane drops to his knees and is able to win it. Now with Rasmus Asp. Asp takes a shot, fires. Finds his way to Lane, though, after it hit a whole lot of nothing. Oganezov and Lane as we get to the final seconds of the power play here, and this one is played up and across. So a face-off in the offensive zone, but with 5 seconds on the power play, the Thunder will be ready to be greeted by a full-strength Danbury defense. Delaware's playing one defenseman back. It's Oganezov. They lose the face-off, and it's 5-on-5 hockey now. Played across. Asp lost it after he went into 4 hat-tricks. Tie up there between two guys at mid-ice, then played off the glass behind Trevor Martin. Reestablished by the Thunder. Put into neutral ice. Ruiz does some crafty dancing. Then gets it over to Kuznetsov, who tried to fire back on the inside, but none of his teammates were standing up there. Gibbs fires. Slow shot goes off the back. And repossessed. Look at JT Delaney, though. On the breakaway, shoots, and it's just kicked away. McClendon Stopped it for an opportunity that was the best thus far. How about it, though, from JT Delaney? Moritz lays a huge hit out on the ice. A big one that took down Tristan Mock. And Mock is slow to get up as he is holding his abdominal region. Headed back also without his helmet and his stick. So tough one there for number 81. He caught J.C. Moritz, the 6'5" team captain, to just absolutely push him down and into the 32-degree hard ice. Take another look at that hit. Pure it was. J.C. Moritz, my goodness. Puck was just within distance, so no interference call. Danbury begins things again, though. Moritz up to Matthew Bazarin. Played back into the central ice and fielded by Johnny McDonald. Marchessault. A little bit of chaos for a moment, but does find itself to McDonald. Puck is hit and knuckles around until it comes back to Seamus Lombard. Lombard to Moritz. Brendan O'Reilly lost the puck for a brief second. Gesso now with Marchessault. Little tie-up between Marchessault and O'Reilly. Johnny McDonald went on the fake pass across the blue line and now has to skate for it, though. Fires Marchessault. If he had put a little bit more behind it, probably could have had the first score of the game, but it was kicked away by Martin, who is still perfect in net. O'Reilly plays it off the glass and all the way down, and a quick deflection is going to prevent the icing here. But now it's flicked all the way back down, but looks like it's first going to be grabbed by Yao, or are we going to have the offsides call anyways? And it will be. The entire Danbury bench is saying that everyone was behind the blue line there. They're saying they had two guys both firmly behind, which set up the 2-on-1 opportunity. So the officiating crew determining what's going on right now. One of them talking specifically to Michael Lopez, the Bronx resident, trying to understand what happened right there for a second and why his team didn't have the opportunity that he feels they should have. So we go back to the Nordic Head at center ice. Danbury with another face-off win. They've been good in that regards today, too. Playing a complete game. Michael Falanga off to the races. Tried the backhand, and Martin had to use the left elbow to keep that one out of the twine. Played all the way down. A quick deflection that was off the stick very, very briefly, though, for Danbury. And now the quick 2-on-1 tie-up. Corgan kicks back out. Moritz just lost it over the blue line and has to reset. Excuse me, that was Justin Movalli. Rasmus Asp puts a shot on, but it is gloved in by McClendon. $15:16 to go here in the second period. FPHL hockey on DSN. Thunder coming out with an aggression that is certainly better than their second period last night, where they gave up 4 in a row and spent more than half the period in the penalty box. Patrick's with it. Played out front and ahead. Daniluk was there, though, defensively. He was able to fight against Evgeny Kuznetsov and Kyle Gonzalez. Played back over the blue line. Gibbs has got to watch for the offsides there and pushes it into Austin Weber to avoid just such a thing. Weber dumps it in. First to the puck, though, and a big opportunity is Daniluk, who went to Weber. And it was just missed away. That shot, another clean attempt. Andrei Ivanov now with the quick ripper. And that one went low, but Frankie McClendon was still able to see it the whole time, as we've got a quick pause in the action, which is going to allow us to hopefully see that shot attempt again. Really pretty stuff from the Thunder in period 2. They played a robust opening 5 minutes. McClendon skates to the bench here knowing that he fully could have just allowed the first one. Ivanov, though, went directly to the side of the net where 39 was lurking. That's how he's able to make the save. So much movement for rosters in this FPHL. There's only been a couple of mainstays for the Thunder this season. Guys who have been here all year long, though, include the likes of Houston Wilson, who is out tonight, had some health concerns regarding his knees. But other guys that we're used to seeing, Alex Susi, who is not in the action, he's been a constant. Chris Corrigan arrived for the second game of the year. Andrei Ivanov has been here since the start of the season, as is J.C. Moritz and Justin Movalli. And without Susi, missing a lot of scoring, guys. He's put together 10 goals over 16 contests for Delaware this year, and Houston Wilson brings kind of the same thing with 7 goals. He's the 4th most on the team. So 2 lead contributors out for the Thunder, a couple lead contributors out for Danbury. So is the game of hockey midway of this season. Puck is played down and all the way back to Martin, who's just going to freeze on his end. He had 3 hat tricks converging on him, though, to force the offensive zone opportunity now. Officials making sure everything's okay here. They're going to flex Corrigan out for the second time tonight, so Gesso will win the faceoff after receiving a new opponent. And the Thunder are playing defense once again. That one almost jumped back around. What a shot attempt there from Luke Richards. Nearly got the misdirection to work for him. Gesso, though, out in front. Stick is lost by somebody. Not sure who it was. Oh, it's Martin. He picks his own stick back up. Had it kicked away for a second. Corrigan feeds back around to Gesso, and now the pass intercepted by Oganezov. And now a 2-on-1 opportunity for the Thunder. Malushkin and Corrigan. Corrigan takes the shot, but it looks like both of them were just a little eager getting over that blue line there. Offside's the call. What would have been the first 2-on-1 for Delaware. Tough break for this Thunder team that has been knocking at the doorstep of Danbury, but so far hasn't been able to kick the hinges away and open things up with a score. Jack Lane wins another faceoff. He's been really good in the center spot thus far. A new addition, just in his second game with the Thunder. This one that flies around, just avoids the netting. Austin Weber going to Gafarov, who takes the shot, and it was blocked by Yao. Great unselfish play with the body by Yao to make that one happen, as this one is flicked up and into the halogen lights. Puck's not supposed to go there. So we'll get a face-off here. The question is where. I think neutral ice towards the Thunder side makes the most sense, but they're going to say right on the Nordic head. Line change here for the Thunder. They're going to bring Charles DeBow IV, Ivanov, Seamus Lombard, and others. Danbury wins it, though, and has control. Tried to play it along the boards, and now back in for Mock. Rasmus Asp beat him there, though. And Delaware has been struggling in this spot in particular, especially when the forecheck has been uber aggressive. And maybe a trip here? I believe that's what we've got. And it looks like the likes of Jared Yao headed to the box for a trip there. A quick one, but a trip nonetheless. He took out Charles DeBow, which now allows for the second power play of the game for the Thunder. First one was unsuccessful, albeit a number of shots. 4 of them went towards the net. Ivanov, Malushkin, Daniluk, Corgans in center, Bazarin. Those are the 5 for Delaware. See if they can do something with it here. Malushkin feeds up blue line. Ivanov sets back up. And it is turned over quickly. Breakaway opportunity here for Ruiz, who loses the puck. Nice poke check from Andrei Ivanov. Chris Corgan, in response, fires. It just hit the blocker. That was a straight-on shot. No problemo for Frankie McClendon. And Delaware resets the offense. Malushkin receives it near the far side boards. Is bringing it up. Bazarin was waiting patiently and now crosses into the offensive zone where he waffles the puck over. And that one's sent up and into the air. Malushkin's going to be able to receive it, though, against the boards. Bazarin, a menacing presence at 6'4" inside. Daniluk, though, has the opportunity and misses. The official had to duck to get out of the way of that one. Reset with Corgan, who flicks over to Malushkin. Tried to play it up ahead, taken by Gesso. And Gesso is going to send this one down for some relief. 44 seconds on the power play here for the Thunder. Delaware's got to do a better job of getting into the offensive zone as quickly as possible on these power plays. They are setting things up. Multiple pass rotations here. Lots of handoffs. Gafarov thought he had it for a moment there. Would have had a sweet opportunity, but it was played back. Andrei Ivanov's able to get it. Bazarin plays it across the blue line to Denis Gafarov. Plays it across. Weber thought he had an opportunity had he been able to actually get the stick to the puck there. 10 seconds left in the power play. Big hit lay down on the far side boards. That was Rasmus Asp doing it big. Weber goes to Gafarov. Now inside once more to Denis Gafarov, who wanted the howitzer, but it was gloved and saved by McClendon. A near nuclear missile fired by Gafarov, the lead scorer on this team, but he was just a half second ahead of it. As we're nearly to halfway through the second period, Thunder playing a much more robust game than they did last night. That's got to be nothing but good for new headman Brian Verbeek. Asp lost it for a brief moment. Malushkin, though, using his athleticism to get to it. Dekes around a little bit. Then goes to Corgan, who's back in the trapezoid, looking to set up his next pass. Goes to Oganezov. Oganezov has Malushkin. Malushkin's double-teamed along the boards and will end up losing it. And the offense start back up for the hat tricks. He did nothing with that possession, though. JT Delaney in pursuit. So is Malushkin, playing a bit more aggressive in the forecheck area right now. Gordy Bonnell with it. Tried to find Johnny Ruiz. Malushkin takes it back. Thunder much better with time of possession in this second period as well. And a lot of that credit has got to go to Danila Malushkin. A 5'8" winger, played in Hungary and Latvia in the past, now finds himself in Harrington, Delaware. Those are some eclectic locations, to say the very least. Rasmus Asp was in there on a quick play. Now he's got to skate back in a hurry to get back. Austin Weber has switched to defense, and Asp puts a hit on Bonnell. Just enough to make him a little bit mad and disappointed he couldn't make more out of that play. Thunder go up. Gafarov loses the one-on-one battle. But the Thunder able to keep the forecheck going here. Kuznetsov goes across. Johnny Ruiz overskated it just by a half stride or so. Denis Gafarov now in a one-on-two. His team begging for him to shoot it, but Dennis has got to reset. Puts it up top. Moritz takes the shot, which misses away, and the second chance opportunity was not there. But Austin Weber almost found Twine. Gafarov here. Still danger for Danbury. Moritz Fields it up near the blue line, pushes one down there, and if there was someone waiting, that would have been the goal, but Dennis Gafarov was a step or two behind. Gibbs plays it ahead. It's been all Thunder here for the last couple of minutes. J.C. Moritz has got it now. Played up. And connecting now. Lombard. Hit hard as he went to the bench there, and a quick stoppage as we're going to get a timeout on the ice. Seamus Lombard hit with a good little hip check there for a second. Mike Falanga coming at him. Michael Falanga has been causing all sorts of issues for the Thunder. He's a pure speed demon out there. One of the smallest guys on the ice at 5'6" and 145 pounds, but the Northford, Connecticut native has been a problem child out there. The devout Thunder fans waiting for their team to get this thing going once more. Frankie McClendon, though, has had one heck of a ball game. He's been put in some awkward situations. His defense has played well, but the craziest moments for him have fortunately been canceled out by miscues for the Thunder, whether it was that offsides on the 2-on-1 or just the lost puck from Dennis Gafarov on an open shot attempt. Danbury did not see this coming when they took the ice against the Thunder team that they manhandled last night. Lombard, O'Reilly, Asp, Ivanov, and then DeBow, the 5 out there for Delaware. Played around. Lombard thought he had it there in the offensive zone, but missed it for a second. Now forced to play it along low on the boards. Brendan O'Reilly going after it. Tristan Mock had flipped it. Now it's sent back down, and Robertson is able to field it. Pressed on up ahead. And a big hit away from the play there for a second. Looks like we might have an injury on the Thunder side, and Mike Falanga and company are just going to start to get tied up here. And, yep, here we go. Tempers are flaring. The injured man is Rasmus Asp for the Thunder, who is hit hard away from the play. Maybe get the opportunity to see what happened there. Both sides are jawing right now. Robinson and O'Reilly are really going at it. But Asp coming down over, holding his arm. Officials are just whistling away. Brendan O'Reilly there with a head of steam. We got the replay here for you now. We're going to see what happened to Rasmus Asp. Now, that was a neutral kind of hit that just happened to inflict more on the guy doing the hitting than the one receiving it. Mike Falanga and Rasmus Asp tied up there for a second. Riley Robertson came on over, the enforcer of sorts for this Danbury team. And then we just see a bunch of bear hugging afterwards. No fists are thrown. Captains are talked to, albeit briefly. Ruiz and Moritz getting the, hey, guys, stop doing that comment from the officials. 7:46 to go in the second period. See if Asp is able to return to the action. He was slow to gather himself coming off the ice. It's going to be an offensive zone face-off here that will favor Danbury. They've got McDonald, Ruiz, Lugo, Marchesson, and Kyle Gonzalez out there. Meanwhile, it's Ivanov, Daniluk, Malushkin, Corgan. And believe it or not, a penalty is actually going to be called there. 2 minutes for roughing. That is coming against Brendan O'Reilly. So the Thunder are on the penalty kill. Second power play opportunity for Danbury of this game. Corgan's fighting hard there. Apologies, we didn't get that penalty call to you sooner. But it is 5-on-4 for Danbury, first time today. Remember, one of the worst percentages in the FPHL at around 14 on the power play, as that one was just underhand thrown, basically, to Martin, who grabs it easy. Charlie Penn says his keeper, Trevor Martin, has just got an unreal work ethic, and it translates on the ice game after game. Martin has had to take a lot of one-on-one situations this entire season, but has come out the victor on certainly more than you or I would. Gonzalez goes over to Ruiz. Lugo wanted the pass across, and Lugo's second shot was tipped by Ivanov and into the net. 1:13 left on the power play. Some discussions here from Trevor Martin, who is looking at the inside of his skate right now, his right skate. He and the official are talking about it. He's got a handoff. I don't know if he's talking about some damage to it or... it looks like Martin is ready to roll. He's going to put the glove back on and get ready to roll. Lugo. Big face-off there that just misses away. Delaney was unable to get it done for Delaware. McDonald goes across. Lugo with it now. Tie up along the boards. This is ideal for the Thunder as they just kill the penalty even more. We're within 55 seconds now for Danbury to do something. This one just got away. Gonzalez tried to go up with it and knife it down, but was unable to do so. And the Jeopardy music plays for Danbury. Delaney got it there for a second, and the puck went up and into the netting. The fan got it over there. Good souvenir. New puck comes on out. 30 more seconds of 5-on-4 hockey, barring any additional antics from the Thunder or the awry penalty from the hat tricks. Nice 4-on-5 in the offensive zone for the Thunder. Corgan unable to win the faceoff, though. Yao dumps it to Robinson. J.C. Moritz has to play it up against his own boards. 15 seconds remaining, and Moritz falls down here. I'm not sure if he's injured or not. He's still staying down after the play is done. J.C. Moritz is rolling to his side very slowly here. Athletic trainer is out on the ice. And the way he is acting right now, this could be a significant injury and not the one you want to have if you're Delaware. Your team captain down here, played in 45 games last season to the Thunder. We're going to get another look as he is right quite literally underneath of our cameraman, Jack Kritzis. Now, was he boarded from behind? That is the question. Well, maybe just a bit. But Moritz looks like his upper body took all of that hit. We'll see it one more time from the other angle. Oh, crushing hit. J.C. Moritz face first into the boards there. Looked like chin might have gone initially. He is still down on the ice. Oganezov over there along with Malushkin. Played the second most games for the Thunder last year, only second to keeper Trevor Babin. And he's not the kind of guy that likes missing any kind of time here on the ice. There's 11 seconds left on the power play, by the way, for the Danbury Hat Tricks. But if J.C. Moritz leaves this game, Delaware is down a pivotal defender, an enforcer, a leader and team captain. The Thunder bench is asking for a potential major warning, if possible. Austin Weber is talking things over with the crew chief right now. Now, this is good sign here at the other end of the ice right now. J.C. Moritz to his feet and leaving under his own power. Number 13 hit hard, went shin first into the glass there. An aggressive push came from Gordy Bunnell. But the lefty unable to keep number 13 down, and will resume play. 5-on-4 for 11 more seconds. 5:56 to go in the second period. The Thunder have played one heck of a defensive game. They are just head and shoulders above where they were last night. Shot comes on and is frozen by Martin. That one quickly won on the faceoff, and Dowler just flicked it towards the net. Now 8 seconds left in the power play. And Corgan, they're going to send him off for the third time here on the faceoff. Well, he has been very anxious in jumping. Rasmus Asp is going to get in there and flick it off the official, which finds his way back to Dowler. Ruiz looking for the pass inside. Shot comes from Kuznetsov. It's now in front of the cage and taken back down by the Thunder. 5-on-5 hockey as Delaney exits the box. And what a try there. Johnny Ruiz was down, basically prone, and still able to get a shot up. But the Thunder are back into the offensive zone. JT Delaney kicks up a whole lot of ice there. It goes back over the blue line. Asp is forced to grab it. Oganezov plays it back to his fellow defenseman. Corgan. JT Delaney now. Going to Malushkin. Takes the shot, and it's off the elbow blocker. Rasmus Asp tries again. That one went a little bit wide, and then the pass from Delaney found nobody there. He will head to the bench. As we get a quick line change for some of the members of the Thunder. Chris Corgan is back there. 4:40 in period number 2. Thunder just significantly better possessing the puck, especially at center ice right now. Mike Marchessault had it for a brief moment. Austin Weber trying to apply some speed ahead. Able to get by Robertson, but he's going to go one-on-one with Dustin Gesso, and Gesso wins that matchup. Played up and down safely for Andrei Ivanov, who's able to kick this one back out. Ivanov finally back in the lineup, had 17 points a couple seasons ago for the Pueblo Bulls to start out his career. Then played the rest of the season with the Vernal Oilers back then. He's got a great first pass, moves the puck extremely well, as we have another pause in the action here with 4:03 to go in period number 2. The quick officials timeout means both squads have the opportunity to chat things over, discuss their next play design. I'm seeing that on both sides of the bench, both for Brian Verbeek and for Billy McCreary. Danbury getting a bit more aggressive here in the last 2 or 3 minutes. They've just lacked that crashing the net presence, though, after the first shot that could get them their first goal of the game. Meanwhile, the Thunder's offense has slowed considerably. They are just not getting the same chances that they did before. But we've got a quick moving game here inside the Thunderdome, albeit one without any scoring. Weber, Bazarin, Ivanov. They're all out there for the Thunder. So is Daniluk. And Denis Gafarov. Played up and around. Ivanov was there. Weber plays it back across the boards. Absorbs a bit of a hit. Gafarov plays it on, but not far enough. Picked up by McDonald. He shoots. Had to go to the glove there. Trevor Martin has looked like the best goalie he has looked this season. He is just sharp. Doing a great job with his lateral movement inside his painted area. 3:46 now on the second period clock. Lugo looks to take the face-off here for Danbury. We imagine Chris Corrigan is going to take it here for the Thunder. And he will. So two number 15s meet again. Lugo won the last matchup. He wins this one too. McDonald fires, and it went right into the 5-hole of Trevor Martin, who was clutch in his ability to close things up there and fall down immediately and freeze this thing. The third duel of Lugo and Corrigan now. Win for Lugo once more, but the Thunder quickly get it back. Delaney tried to go over to Oganezov, but the pass just had a little bit too much mustard on it. Delaney tried to get it back, played across. Lugo dumps it across, and yeah, he played it back across the blue line, so offsides is the call. We'll put things back at center ice here, or near center ice. Johnny Ruiz back in the game. He's got the face-off against Corrigan, and Ruiz gets the win. Fired on down. Martin able to easily kick that one off into the sideboards. Danbury, though, keeping this puck in the offensive zone for what seems like 15 to 20 minutes, even though only a few minutes of game clock have gone on. Rasmus Asp flicks it back around. Good to see him back in the ball game. Corrigan plays it across for Delaney. And now picked up by Asp. Asp, 2-on-2 opportunity here. Fires inside, and JT Delaney had wide open net. Should it have been connected? And a penalty. A delayed one at that. Believe that's what the call is going to be at least. Saw a hand go up there on the offensive side. And yeah, Dmitry Kuznetsov is going to get docked here. And it will be for the hook. So Kuznetsov, the time in Russia, native, 6 foot, 180 pounds. In his second season with the Hat-Tricks, he spent part of 2019 with Columbus, where he scored 34 goals. In 2021. Had an equal number of goals and assists, too. So a pivotal player now lost for the Hat-Tricks. Third power play opportunity here for the Thunder. Denis Gafarov and Chris Corrigan, the two big goal scorers out there right now for Delaware. Malushkin feeds it across. Gafarov patient, surveying the entire ice. He gets it back, fires in again. That one bounced off of Yao and is reset. Played over across. The second chance opportunity was missed away. How special it would have been right there for Andrei Ivanov to put that one through. Malushkin fires. The reset for Delaware. Gafarov, his shot goes a little bit wide. Daniluk thought he would be able to just slice that one out of the air and in, but was unable to do so. 60 seconds now on the penalty. Thunder pushing it ahead. It's Corrigan. Scored a hat trick in his very first game with the Thunder. Ivanov. Back in for Malushkin. Gives that one a little skippy pass to Daniluk. Fires inside. Corrigan almost had the quick touch to it, but it was not to be. 40 seconds now on the power play. Delaware keeping the attack, though, at a high volume frequency. They cycle things over. Malushkin missed it, albeit for a half second, so no ice. Rasmus Asp back with Gesso. 20 seconds left in the power play. Asp got it back. Plays it in around. Dustin Gesso, though, causing more issues for the Delaware power play offense. He was lifted off of his skates there by Rasmus Asp. Last chance on the power play here. Denis Gafarov moves to lane. Back to Malushkin. Fires across once more. The other opportunity missed away. Eric Oganezov. 5-on-5 hockey resumes. And Danbury clears the danger. Asp takes a big hit there. Little back and forth between him and Dustin Gesso, who are going at it right now at center ice. Will they be dropped, though? McDonald is in. Rasmus Asp is now tied up by Dustin Gesso. And there's a whole lot of arms in there to do stuff. Oh, and the helmet of Gesso ripped off and thrown by Rasmus Asp, who is now jawing with Robertson, who's got a nice gap in between his teeth there as he's barking things out to Asp and the defense. So Robertson, the enforcer, needs to be pushed back just a little bit. He's only got 1 point this year, but has just been the type of physical presence that any good hockey team needs. So we're going to see what the formal call is, if there's any penalty minutes assessed for that nonsense for a moment. Helmet's still out on the ice. Someone should pick that up. And we are still awaiting the call here from the officials. Rasmus Asp docketed 2 minutes for roughing, and the same will go to the other side. Dustin Gesso also serving a 2-minute minor for roughing. So now we get hockey the way some believe the game should be played, on the 4-on-4 level. 6.9, though, in the second period, so we'll probably have to wait for the extended possession in period 3. But offensive faceoff on the way here. The 4 out there for Danbury are Kuznetsov, Yao, Bonnell, and Robertson. For Delaware, Bazarin is taking the faceoff and loses it. Kuznetsov, though, had to play it back, and that one's going to come back down. They chewed some time off the clock there accidentally. I believe it's going to be about 3 seconds if they do choose to reset it. If not, there's 0.3 left on the clock. Our score graphic briefly incorrect there, but both sides are saying that too much time came off, and now they're going to put 3.9 back on the clock and up these penalty timers as well to what should be a minute 57 or so. 58 is the official call. Opportunity from Yao there as time was expiring and going to his knees, and timing this one out is Brendan O'Reilly. Still scoreless after 2, but exciting hockey nonetheless here at Center Ice Arena. Officials are saying period is over, go home. Not fully home, though. They got to go to the locker room and come back out for 20 more minutes of action, but both teams are jawing after that nice little tangle up there that involved Rasmus Asp and also Dustin Gesso. Unusual to see your team's lead scorer get involved in something so physical. But hey, it makes for good content for us, right? We're going to step aside here on DSM, but when we come back, we're going to break down the second period, take a look at some highlights, get some stats, and a whole lot more. We'll be right back. The Thunderdome, a scoreless contest between the hat tricks of Danbury and our hometown Delaware Thunder. It's FPHL hockey on the Delmarva Sports Network. What's going on, folks? Zach Barnes here alongside absolutely nobody. Kind of tough to call a hockey game without a color commentator, so that's why I am going to bring in a color commentator now, and one that I know like the back of my hand, myself. So, Zach, pretty robust defense from the Delaware Thunder, just able to really contain the team that scored 6 goals on them last night. Oh, yeah, Zach, we were just seeing a ton of great opportunities from Danbury last night. They were dumping the puck in a zone routinely, but today we're seeing a very new era Thunder team. And I'll tell you, if they can get the puck to bounce their way a couple of times, there's going to be really good stuff here for a Delaware team that's looking for their second win of the season. Couldn't have said it any better myself, you handsome devil, you. Let me tell you a little bit about that second period. We got stats coming your way right now, and they are a doozy because we got to finally see some of the shot tallies start to even out here in the second period of play. You're taking a look at it right now on the screen. 18 shots for the Thunder to 9 for Danbury. Meanwhile, penalty minutes were about the same. This game is super chippy right now. These teams spent about 76 minutes in the penalty box last night. Today, not quite as severe there, but 10 in that last period, a couple for roughing, including the fiasco that's going to lead us to 4-on-4 hockey when we return. That was Rasmus Asp getting tied up with Dustin Gesso. But really robust stuff here inside the Thunderdome as we're getting ready for the third period of action. So, Zach, if you're Delaware, how do you increase offensive chances? Oh, really great question, Zach. Well, I think at the end of the day, there's going to have to be a real sort of commitment to just sharing the puck at times where you want to take the shot, because that unselfish play is really going to bode well for Delaware, who right now is hurting for a goal, especially since they only put 1 on the board last night. An excellent point, Zach. Really happy to have your analysis here with us. Folks, we got third period action coming up next between the Danbury Hat-Tricks and the Delaware Thunder. It's coming your way on the Delmarva Sports Network. Stick with us. We'll be right back. Delmarva Sports Network. You're taking a look at a couple of the captains here for the Danbury Hat-Tricks. Johnny Ruiz, Riley Robertson, and also in there, Dustin Gesso. These are three of the most elite players that the Hat-Tricks have to offer. All three of them been extremely active in the offensive zone thus far, but Delaware actually outshooting the Hat-Tricks in period number 2, which I'm sure caught Danbury off guard, especially since they had waltzed into this game thinking they were going to pick up another win. But the Thunder fans on hand, they know that this team's got a lot of attitude and a lot of determination to prove those people wrong who just find them to be a bottom-of-the-table type squad. Got replays there from that period. Some other highlights as well. Going to check them out right now on the Delmarva Sports Network. Zach Parnes here with you guys. Of course, can't do it alone, though. Want to thank our entire DSN crew who's on site, but Trevor Martin had to do a whole lot of diving there and was able to make the play. Then the high sticking was called. But in this opportunity, that could have been an easy goal for Mike Marchesson, but he had missed it away. Rasmus Asp had the first good shot attempt for the Thunder in the first period. And that would come right back at you. Trevor Martin needing to make big plays once more. Martin has just been there, here, everywhere. He's been defending goals from all the way in Harrington to basically Smyrna and maybe all the way down south to Crisfield. But regardless, the Thunder kept their offensive approach the same. That was one of the better attempts that came from Jack Lane. But still nothing was rolling on. Moving to second period highlights here. And the chances were far more often from Delaware. That one came inside from Malushkin. Danila has taken a couple of chances, but then this, the ISO opportunity that just got kicked away. How sweet it would have been for JT Delaney to get that one. Ivanov had a nice shot from the point as well, but just went directly into McClendon, who's also playing out of his mind. Both goalkeepers standing on their heads right now, just making the plays happen one after the other. This would have been one of the purest chances for Danbury had it not got poked away. And then that whiff, unfortunately, from Denis Gafarov would have been filled with a ton of energy behind it. Both teams went to the penalty box. Neither were able to make it happen on the power play. Thunder at a 19% clip this year, peppered the net, but they just weren't able to find Twine. No one's been able to yet here in the Thunderdome. Chris Corrigan's had a tough time on the face-off thus far, and that's why we've seen so many offensive shots come from Danbury right after a meeting on the inside. And this would have been a true goal-scoring play, but that pass came out there in a hurry. Thunder were able to pick up the penalty for it, though. And then Eric Oganezov, maybe with the purest opportunity of the second period, but just sent away. Fans are ready for period 3. We are as well. Just a couple minutes remain until that picks back up. And when it does, it'll be 4-on-4 because Gesso and Asp are due for some more time in the penalty box. So while they get to sit and relax, we get to watch a much more open ice kind of scenario. It's 0-0 here on the Delmarva Sports Network. The Hat-Tricks and the Thunder have not been able to crack the code just yet. We'll see if that changes in the third period right after this. Thank you. Hockey on the Delmarva Sports Network. No scoring thus far, but the contest, pretty exciting, if I do say so myself. If you don't think so, why are you still watching? Yeah, I want to know. Just kidding. This is a great game. Someone's got to end this scoring drought. Eventually, it will end. Could it end at the open of the third, though, where we've got 1:54 of 4-on-4 hockey. Rasmus Asp in the box for Delaware. Dustin Gesso in there for Danbury. So we will open with the 4-on-4 set. Martin and McClendon are still there, ready to roll. The four out there for the Thunder are going to be Chris Corrigan, Andrei Ivanov, Daniluk, and Malushkin. And then on the other side, Johnny Ruiz, Brendan Dowley, and then, yes, indeed, it will be the enforcers of Jared Yao and Gordy Bonnell. Shots on there from Daniluk, which just misses. Ivanov gets to crank another one that just missed as well. So an aggressive start here for the Thunder in the forecheck. Ivanov puts the shot on. It's right out in front, and McClendon has to get on it very quickly. Little hit after the play from Yao on Chris Corrigan, which draws some jawing, but nothing more than that. As the Thunder get ready to get set. So minute 32 still here in the 4-on-4. We have seen some wicked fast shots, though. Ivanov shot one, and then the same came from Daniluk. Both of them just looking for speed on those plays. Played off the glass and down past the benches. Corrigan's got it now for Delaware. He looked to dump it there to a teammate, but no one was there. Malushkin now has to take it, has a one-on-one chance, and just went too far for Daniluk. Who's got it now? Plays it over to Eric Oganezov. His pass with a little bit too much sauce. Picked up by Dowler. Flick back to Kuznetsov. Kuzi dodges the official. And is now skating with speed here. Going directly into the Thunder defense and losing that battle. Jack Lane able to pick it back up. Thunder reestablish here, though. Oganezov. Left it there for Martin in case Martin wanted to be able to play it away. 4-on-4 hockey is done in 22 seconds. That's when we'll see Asp and Gesso freed from the box. Gafarov to Oganezov. Now to Ivanov. That's a lot of ovs. Jack Lane, nice move, able to do the toe drag there with perfection. Pushes it on up ahead to Dennis. Gafarov fires inside, and it had to be saved quickly by Oganezov. Dustin Gesso gets to it. 5-on-5 hockey is back amongst us. Marchessault takes the shot, and Trevor Martin with another save. He has been all over the puck tonight whenever it has come his way, making a ton of those shoulder-to-breadbasket type saves. Potential offensive opportunity here for Johnny Ruiz. He's going against Corrigan, who's had difficulty in center, and Ruiz wins it. Fired away, Gonzalez blasted it over the head of Martin. Moritz plays it inside. Ruiz fires the shot in, he scores! Johnny Ruiz has ended the 0-0 tie. And the flick just got over the shoulder of Trevor Martin. We have the inaugural goal of the game from number 19, career goal 101 in the FPHL. He's now scored in back-to-back-to-back contests as we get to see the replay here for number 19. And that shot Textbook. Also helps to have the guy out in front protecting and deflecting there. That was Bunnell. But now, I think they're going to call goaltender interference because Bunnell was in so close and wave this goal off. So hold the call on the initial score of the game. Johnny Ruiz is less than happy using some four-letter words that I can't say to the official. Let's have another look at it here, folks, just before we drop the puck once more. And you could see it was probably all of the pressure that was applied there on the inside by Gordie Bunnell that forces that interference call and keeps us tied at 0. Chris Corrigan back the other way. Fires it. McClendon. Glove save. So the scorer's table put the 1 up there before getting the official license and okay from the officiating crew, who then decide to take it right off. Not so fast, Danbury. Both squads looking for that first goal. Riley Robertson. Now Gibbs, around the back. Feeds up ahead to Gonzalez, who plays it across. Now the attack is on. Could have been a real chance there for a moment. That was the guilty party who fired that one in from the last infraction. Of course, talking about Gordie Bunnell. Puck is lobbed over to Martin, who keeps his thighs together there and makes that play to freeze things. And another offensive opportunity for Danbury. They're coming out with a vehement pace so far. They don't like the fact that Delaware outshot them in that last period. Thunder, we're going to snap that 17-game losing streak that they're on right now. Jared Yao, tied up. Music was still playing even as the action was happening. I didn't mind it, though. It's a nice powwow, fireside chat up against the boards. Picked up by Gafarov. And the Thunder look to possess. Weber knifed it down, played it ahead. And now it's lobbed up and in. Lopez was the target. Rasmus Asp making it difficult for him, so was Austin Weber. Oganezov. Now to Asp, who flicks. And it's up ahead. But Danbury's got it back. Knife down there by Oganezov. This could be costly, potentially. Martin, though, makes another save. Asp. Moving at pace now. Gets across the blue line. Was thinking about the dump off to Lombard there. But his pass was just errant. Delaware able to reset, though. Asp comes to the bench. Daniluk is going to replace him. Dennis Gafarov goes to Oganezov. Oh, whoa, 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 Thunder. Maybe we see that. Brendan O'Reilly plays up ahead. Blockered away and got to by Robertson, who feeds Marchesson. Now picked back up. Oh, could have had an opportunity. Chris Corrigan, though, trying to stay with it. Daniluk lost his footing there for a second. Some of his teammates thought he was tripped, but not so much. Falanga hit off the play. Chris Corrigan now wrapping around the net. Tries to spin inside, but is intercepted. Looking across, Malushkin. Missing. Oganezov, though, able to retrieve it back at the blue line. Fired inside, and an opportunity going back towards the net. No goal is scored. It was mere inches from passing the line, but it was saved away. Impressive stuff from Frankie McClendon, who is down now. So McClendon is hurt. We're going to get a second look at this, though. That could mean that Brian Wilson will come into the game for the first time tonight. But here's that look. Fired in quick. McClendon with the initial save, then went to reach behind him. Look how close that is. Oh, And a hand coming in from Riley Robertson. Robertson used the hand to get it away, which likely would have resulted in a penalty had that been caught. Thunder are arguing that that had crossed the line. McClendon's still down. I think it's worth another look if we can get it, as they're going to open the net here to allow 39 the ability to spread his limbs. Wilson is getting ready to come in the game as we get another look here at that pure shot. That just goes through the skates and then inching itself towards the line, but it's got to cross some part of it. That is extra close, maybe right on the line. Robertson, 200 IQ plus play. Both sides tapping sticks to the ice here. Brian Wilson getting ready to come on out. There is a lot to know about this man wearing 30. He was the goalie of the month in the FPHL in the opening month of the season, had 50 saves in the first game against Columbus, had 23 last night against the Thunder. Only one got past him. But a graduate of Niagara College, Wilson will take over from McClendon, who's having a hard time getting to his feet here, but is helped by his teammates and is now coming out. Frankie will head back to the locker room, and Wilson will step in his place. Maybe one of the only situations where your starting goaltender gets hurt and is replaced by a better goaltender. But we'll see if better is actually best here for Danbury. 14 and a half minutes to go in period 3. We will enter a 20-minute overtime if no one's able to score in that 14 minutes. So as the ref repositions the goal, we get ready to get back to action. Got to shout out our entire Delmarva Sports Network crew that's here today. Jack Kritzis, Ben Membrino working the cameras. Alex Brownstein and Noah Carter are inside the truck. And me? I'm just some guy. Zach Barnes here with you at the Thunderdome. Thunder win the opening faceoff and now have a nice opportunity, but played into the net. That was JT Delaney. Wilson twitchy and ready already. Number 30 was having a good time hamming it up with his teammates, but was called into action quickly. See if he can keep up the performance that Danbury has been seeing from Frankie McClendon. Thunder indirectly win the faceoff, fired inside, and Wilson was able to grab that one quickly off his chest pad. But the shot came in from Andrei Ivanov. Ivanov has yet to find the back of the net this season. He has 3 assists. And unbelievably, no time in the penalty box for number 21. One of the only Thunder players not to have any minutes there. One-on-one opportunity, though. The shot came inside and was just missed away. That was Gordy Bunnell, who liked the one-on-one that he had, then goes to the backhand and forces Martin to freeze it. Got to think that Danbury is putting some extra aggression in here for Frankie. McClendon had been flawless the entire night. Thunder head coach Brian Verbeek over there talking to the line that just came off, instructing them for the next time that they go back out to action. He had a lot of passion in what he was saying right there. But it's reset. Mike Falanga. Big hit from Rasmus Asp on Lugo. And then saved briefly, but here's Falanga trying to circle. Had the puck played back off his skate. Now up ahead is Austin Weber, who absorbs a nice hit at mid-ice. That one was thrown on by Gonzalez. Asp Plays it up, and a quick stoppage after that one went into the bench. Both sides with a ton of shots. None of them have been good. Good as in finding the back of the net. There's been good opportunities, don't get me wrong. That was Seamus Lombard there with Lugo. Lugo wins another faceoff, been pretty good in that position tonight. Big hit at center ice from O'Reilly on Robertson. Oganezov. Fed back, Robertson played it up. That one almost went into the face of Lombard. He had to catch it there with the top of his chest pad, and now Lombard up ahead. Able to work well on Robertson. O'Reilly was checked into the Danbury bench. And now the hat trick's reestablished. Martin leaves the net to go fetch it. Then plays it out in front. Gibbs takes it back. Martin leaves his post, but goes back immediately. Moritz is here. He took that hard hit earlier. It's great to see him back. Chris Corrigan flips it up and pushed in. Just so. Kyle Gonzalez was able to push things down and away. This is Kuznetsov. Kuznetsov went to fire, but his stick connected there with Oganezov, so they cancel out. Played back around across, though. Gibbs, the first one to it. Played it towards the middle. No one was there. Good opportunity for the Thunder here. This is Delaney getting out with speed. JT Delaney fires, and Wilson caught it right at belly button level. 12 minutes to go in period 3. No one has broken the tie. Again, want to remind our audience to download the new Delmarva Sports Network app. You can watch our live stream anywhere, anytime, any place, at least in this world. Don't know if you go to the moon or Mars, if it's available there, but none of us are going there anytime soon, I don't think. Oganezov snaps a shot, and Wilson sees it into his glove easily. But the app is totally free to download for iPhone and Android users. You can also catch highlights from other local matchups here on the Delmarva Peninsula. Check scores, see some new feature segments, and a whole lot more. Fed up top and over across the blue line, so offsides is called. Andrei Ivanov just losing it there by a couple centimeters, if that. And that forces the reset. Ruiz comes out for Lugo, who has been next to perfect on the inside. Credit him with another win after that one. Played on across towards the blue line. Lopez and Weber fell there for a moment. Lane was also pushed into the Danbury bench to lots of oohs and ahs from the hat tricks. But played back down. Lopez, it's a foot race to the red line. And it is successfully won there by Eric Oganezov. But he had to put a little bit of extra oomph into that one because trailing him extra close behind was Gordy Bonnell. The official saying, hey, line change can't happen right now. Austin Weber is going to go in for Jack Lane, who looks a bit winded at the moment. It's dropped. Lane gets it, spins, and goes back to Weber. Now Gafarov. Tried to play it back down to Lane. He's got Yao on him. The two of them get tied up and both go down. But up ahead now. Dowler plays it out in front. The puck momentarily lost there. Thunder seemingly with a good chance. Dennis Gafarov gonna have to take the 270 spin and check back around. Chooses to dump it across the boards. Has Malushkin there. But Tristan Mock able to play it out and into the center ice. No penalty. McDonald there was looking for some sort of hooking or anything. But the officials tell him, we make the calls, not you. Ivanov plays up front. Malushkin. Over now. The opportunity from Falanga. A fast shot from the 5'6" speedster, but it goes right into the glove of Trevor Martin. We are still tied. 10:30 here in period 3. This game's been zooming along. It's only 9:10 p.m., that is. The new year welcomed in 2 hours and 50 minutes. For us on the East Coast, that is. If you're in Spain or the United Kingdom, it's in 20 minutes. And if you're in California, it's more than a few hours, which we have here. I know. Just robust commentary, right? You all learned something there. Delaware is hoping to do some teaching, though. In the scoring department, Chris Corrigan going to wrap around, tried it there, and Wilson is forced to collapse his knees and make a big play in passing. Chris Corrigan thought he could be cute and tuck it in between the pipe there. But Brian Wilson had the nose to it. JT Delaney a little slow here as lines will change. The Thunder are going to welcome in Dennis Gafarov, Lane, and Weber, along with Daniluk and Andrei Ivanov. Daniluk gets it after the win from Lane. Shots fired in there, bounces for a brief moment. Weber fires again. Wilson with an unbelievable save. Brian Wilson there went from the ice to up top real quickly, and now the counterattack is on. But the Thunder intercepted. Nice defensive play from Austin Weber. Ivanov plays it past the blue line. Yao just had to watch that one pass him by. Ivanov again. Now Eric Oganezov. This is Tristan Mock, who's hit hard against the boards. Excuse me, that was Johnny McDonald taking the hit. Mock was out in front. And he left both of his skates on that way up. Trevor Martin's going to be forced to freeze here after the puck was played in close to him. And a quick timeout for both squads to be able to get back to their bench and talk things over. That save from Brian Wilson was next level. And we get another look at it here on the Delmarva Sports Network. I mean, just this right here, this quick flick, using the elbow there to swat it up and away. Serious credit to Brian Wilson, one of the best in the FPHL this season. He's got 13 wins, 3 losses. 2 of them came in overtime, though. Protecting the net at a 92% clip, which is pretty efficient for 981 plus minutes of action for number 30. But Wilson and McClendon have split time throughout the entire season in terms of who's in net, but McClendon has only picked up 3 wins overall. And interestingly enough, Frankie McClendon also spending 15 times in the penalty, or 15 minutes in the penalty box. The Michael Jackson fanfare alive and well. Everyone's hoping for a thriller of a third period as Lane indirectly wins the faceoff there against Evan Lugo. Falanga picks it up. Now played out in front. That was a near opportunity there. And I don't know what the call is here on the ice. We saw hands go up. Yes. The ever-apparent loose goal. It has happened once more. The post came up and out of the ice. That net causes more chaos than driving 11 miles over the speed limit in Sussex County, I'll tell you that. Eric Oganezov and the Thunder. It's an aggressive forecheck here coming, though, from Danbury, who's choosing to leave 3 men out in front. Lane couldn't get it there for a second, but we got a nice little scrap at the bench right now. Eric Oganezov and Riley Robertson were all kinds of tied up. Both of these teams, we haven't seen a formal fight yet. Oganezov is almost shooting for the single leg here, as the fans get the first opportunity to see it up close and personal. They're pressed up against the glass. Got a replay of that hit that led to it. Denis Gafarov is looking at a teammate there. We're going to see who that is. But it would make sense here to be Malushkin, who does take that hit while already on the ground from Riley Robertson. And then that's what led to Oganezov dropping his stick and getting involved. But Malushkin down on 2 knees right now, as you all can see. So they'll take a quick look at him. And it looks like he's ready to just jump back on the bench and catch some oxygen for a couple minutes as things get reset. Ruiz and Moritz are back at center ice to hear more stuff from the officiating crew here. And we'll see firmly what the call is, if there's any penalty minutes or not that are being assessed. The meeting of the minds just inside the penalty box. And we will receive a penalty upcoming for Riley Robertson for 2 minutes. I believe it's going to be for the hit, which could potentially be called roughing, interference. Johnny Ruiz is shaking his head now, talking to the official, just does not agree with the call at all, as you would expect from the team captain to dispute things here. But J.C. Moritz and Austin Weber, they're just ready to get back out there and go again. So Robertson is in the box for 2 minutes. Another power play chance for the Delaware Thunder, their 4th of this ballgame. The Thunder fans start ringing the bell, clapping their hands, stomping their feet. They're making noise up in here. Thunderdome sold out last night with over 750 folks in attendance. Nice popping crowd here on this New Year's Eve in Harrington. Chris Corrigan is going to go one-on-one with Gordy Bunnell here in the center, but Corrigan is sent out. And instead, Gafarov takes over. Danbury wins it. So the Thunder, 4th time on the power play, 0 for 3 thus far. Gafarov, the shot attempt goes there, but wasn't able to get it. Now up to Ivanov. Back to Dennis. Gafarov lifts it up, and it was blockered down. Rasmus Asp tried to corral it at the blue line, but it ended up going just back and over. So the reset is on. Daniluk skies one over to the other side of the boards. Gafarov is there to get it. Asp takes the shot. It was redirected, but back into the glass. And it's sent all the way down to Trevor Martin, who has no problem dishing it back to Andrei Ivanov as Malushkin comes into the ballgame now for the Thunder. Sent back down. Again, it's Martin. Feeds it up. Malushkin stopped hard but was hit in response. That was a big hit from Dustin Jesso, and Gafarov laid a hit on him afterwards, too. And an arm is up here. Believe it's going to be on Denis Gafarov for roughing or a cross check. He came in with the stick totally horizontal, going to the head of Dustin Jesso. Let's take a look. We do have the hit that led to the contact. And that was the one here from Dustin Gesso laid on Danila Malushkin. And then back comes the retaliation. Denis Gafarov says absolutely not, but it will cost him 2 minutes. So for the next minute, it's 4-on-4 hockey. And then when Riley Robertson is released from his time, Gafarov will still be sitting there for an additional 60 seconds. So a frustration penalty from the lead scorer for the Thunder, who's got 16 goals and 11 assists this season. One of only 3 Thunder players averaging over a point a game. Jesso's staying back out there. He's in with Marchessault and Kyle Gonzalez and Gibbs. With the Thunder, they're winning and pushing things forward on the 4-on-4. Rasmus Asp with a nice move, but it's fielded from the knees there by Gonzalez, who looks to clear it, but now it still stays in the offensive zone. Asp is still contending with it. Malushkin fires across. Corgan could have had a chance, but it was not to be. Daniluk played up ahead. Rasmus Asp easily skates to it, absorbs a big hit, though, from Gesso from behind, and those two are jawing right now, going back at it. Dustin Gesso is getting under the skin of a number of Thunder players. Maybe see why Gafarov wanted to lay the cross-check on him. Here's Malushkin, who had the chance of the third period so far, but it was pushed away by Brian Wilson. 5 seconds left in 4-on-4, then it's 5-on-4 in favor of Danbury. Thunder know that and begin to establish their defensive set. Robertson is freed from the box. He goes to the bench, though. It's Lugo, McDonald, Ruiz, and Gordy also played over across, scores! There's the inaugural goal of the game, and it comes from Evan Lugo. The post-university winger has found the net once again, and Danbury takes the lead. Wow, what a play from Lugo, his 7th goal of the season. And that is a crushing one for Delaware to endure. They'll go back to 5-on-5, but in the first 12 seconds of the 5-on-4, Danbury convert. Need a serious rally from Delaware here. 1-0 to score, as tempers have flared between both sides in this game. It was that 2-on-1 opportunity that exposed Trevor Martin for the very first time tonight. He was left with absolutely nowhere to go. 2 hat-trick collide. Gafarov, who's freshly out of the box, has got it now, spins around the back, and is now dancing behind the net, seeing who he can pass to. Tried to feed it inside himself, but nothing was cooking. Tristan Mock will come back the other way. Mock plays it over towards Martin, who had to juggle it and then sticks it over to Oganezov. Here we go, though. Denis Gafarov, after a nice bounce, Wilson rose to his feet to make the save, but there was no need to do that. Corgan tried to play it in. It bounces off of Gesso. Reset. Andrei Ivanov will dump it in. Oh, you could feel the energy kind of leave the Thunderdome after that quick score. The Thunder have been so good killing the penalty thus far in this game. But as we know, in this game, all it takes is one little error, and that can change the result. And so far, if this holds for the next 5 minutes and 4 seconds, it will be a crushing defeat for the Delaware Thunder, their 18th in a row. Mike Marchessault, though, still with it. Thunder have plenty of time to work with, though. Corgan now in the 1-on-2. He's got 2 trailing him as well. Corgan takes the shot, went through the legs of Yao, and saved by Wilson. And Jared Yao and Chris Corgan getting into it afterwards. But Corgan went 5-hole to breadbasket there. Able to put it right through the skates of Yao. Jared Yao with 14 assists this season. And 76 minutes in the penalty box, as we're going to get a brief stoppage on the ice. Denis Gafarov's cross-check proves to be the most impactful play of the game thus far for the Thunder. And that's never the kind of impact you want to hear about your team's leading scorer making. Denis Gafarov has captivated the fans here at the Thunderdome with his just ability to get back quickly on the counterattack and his well-placed shots, but a mental mistake could cost the Thunder a win tonight, or at least the opportunity to go to overtime. Still no word on Frankie McClendon. We believe he will be out for the remainder of the game, as Wilson is still out on the ice for Danbury. Meanwhile, every player who's been injured for the Thunder has been able to return to action thus far. Corgan, Delaney, Oganezov, Asp, and Malushkin are the 5 for the Thunder. 4:49 left in this game. Will there be an equalizer? Or will Thunder fans be going home in 4 minutes and 49 seconds? Danbury looking to apply the nail in the coffin if they can, but a nice aggressive forecheck here from the Thunder. Played across the red line. Asp. Dancing, he's got Kuznetsov in pursuit. Files it around, but back towards the blue line and picked up by Yao, who fires. Martin deflects it away. Now held by Johnny Ruiz around the net. Danbury perfectly okay to burn some time. Delaware hoping they do anything but that. Corgan. Now to Malushkin. Great move from Malushkin. Number 61 crosses the blue line. Circles back around. And played it down for Jack Lane, the former Wilkes University superstar. Has to play it away. Ivanov takes the shot on that just went in front of Wilson. Still picked up, though, by Daniluk. Thunder staying in the offensive end. We'll be keeping an eye on Trevor Martin to see if he leaves. But flicked back and picked up by Weber, who was fresh out of the bench. Weber nearly had his skate taken out by Lugo, but was able to recover, but does lose the puck. Now it's a game of possession for Danbury. They've got just 3 minutes and 17 seconds until they can get back on the bus. Thunder want to keep that bus idling in the lot if they can. Oganezov. Across to Daniluk. Play back down to Martin. Martin ahead to Corgan, who goes across the boards again. Back across. In now. Shot opportunity comes from just so. And Martin was looking to not freeze it there, but the official called it before he had the chance to put it back in play. An official talking here with head coach Brian Verbeek of the Thunder, who was looking to call a timeout and does call a timeout. So the first of the game from either side, not coming from the officiating crew, goes to Brian Verbeek, who was named the head coach of this team 9 days ago, was previously in Wyoming, Ontario, and he replaces general manager Lou Santini, who is now a bench coach and the GM of this squad. And it was funny kind of talking to Coach Verbeek. I asked him, what do you think of this assignment? And he chuckled and said, well, we can't go any lower, can we? Bottom of the table, just 1 win this season, 21 losses. He says there's only one way up, and he's here to bring them that way. Next weekend, the Thunder will take on the Elmira Mammoths up in upstate New York. Meanwhile, the Danbury Hat Tricks will go play Carolina. Coach Billy McCreary eagerly looking on to his hat tricks, hoping that they can add one more to their total here and put this game out of reach. Brian Verbeek screaming over towards the likes of Danilo Malushkin. Picked up and possessed initially by Danbury, but reclaimed by Delaware. Caught and tossed slightly ahead. Malushkin tried to poke it back over to Chris Corrigan. Delaware's got to get back in a hurry here. Played on up ahead. Richards was there. And Marchessault almost had the chance. A secondary shot and scores! Dustin Gesso had been putting shot after shot towards Martin and gets that one to just cross the line. Heartbreak for the Thunder. 2:15 to go in this game. Coach Brian Verbeek really disappointed in his squad not being able to hold up there after initially gaining possession, too, in the defensive zone. 2 minutes and 5 seconds to play. Delaware's got to score quick. Rasmus Asp goes inside, but Brian Wilson snatched it out of midair, no problem. Frankie McClendon has returned just outside of the bench here. He will not be returning. All of his pads are off right now, and he's got 2 ice packs around his left elbow. So think that was the injury for Frankie, and it will keep him off and Brian Wilson on the remainder of these 2 minutes. Asp flicks one towards the net. Jack Lane is there, though. Tried to play it out in front, and it missed. Oganezov forced to reset. His pass played on ahead, and Bunnell intercepts it. Trevor Martin clearly not in the net. You guys can see that. Don't know why I need to tell you. That was my mistake. Dennis Gafarov now. 6-on-5. A potential free shot for Danbury if they're able to get it. Kuznetsov is going to get that opportunity right now. Puts it on ahead and scores! And he hits the on-ice gritty, too. Wow, that was a disgusting gritty. And by disgusting, I don't mean good. But Dmitry Kuznetsov takes the bow anyways. He's scored. And this game is all but done for the Thunder. 3-0 now. Delaware just played with an intensity and a resolve that had not been seen here in some time. They kept this so close. And unless they can score in the next 20 seconds, they will fall to 1-21-1 this year. But we don't want to count our chickens. Inside of a minute 20 now. Justin Movalli out there. He hasn't seen the ice a ton. Plays it up ahead. Bazarin's with it. Tries to go in between his knees. Pick back up, and a shot is fired and missed. That was DeBow. 61 seconds to go in this game. Danbury will move to 4 in a row as they get ready to take on the Thunderbirds. But both sets of gentlemen first get to do the New Year's thing tonight. Delaware is away next weekend, so we will not have the call here on the Delmarva Sports Network, but we'll be back at it later on in January. Puck's played in there. That one came from DeBow. 20 seconds now for Delaware. And what is going to easily be one of the toughest losses of the season. Malushkin trying to establish himself. Went to flick it, but whiffed. 10 seconds now. Got to wonder if any gloves come off, maybe. But it looks pretty tame. And Delaware is just going to pass this thing out. There you have it. The Thunder fall 3-0 as Brendan O'Reilly is in at the bench. We're not going to step away just yet. We're going to see how this whole thing materializes thus far. Justin Movalli is calling for anyone to cross that line of officials. But the refs want to go have a beer. They are not in the mood to deal with any fighting here, as Kuznetsov and Malushkin are going to talk for a second. Lots of jawing at center ice. But the officials happy to separate the two parties and get to their own party in a couple hours. There's still conversation here. Dowler is with Austin Weber. The officials keep blowing the whistle. I don't think it's working, though. Now all of the hat tricks are sent back to their bench by the crew chief. And the Thunder give it up one more time for their fans that came by. Now with the ice cleared, we will step aside on the Delmarva Sports Network. Postgame, though, is coming your way in just a moment. A crushing third period for the Thunder. They give up 3 and fall their 18th in a row to Danbury. We'll be right back here on DSN. Delmarva Sports Network. It was a tough end to the evening for our hometown Delaware Thunder, who fall to the Danbury hat tricks after giving up 3 goals in that third period. This is my heart, and this is it breaking for the Thunder. Certainly tough one for them tonight. They played a tremendous first 40 minutes of hockey, but in those last 20, some gaps allowed them to take over. Zach Barnes alongside my color commentator, myself. Zach, assess that third period for us. Well, Zach, it's just a real shame because for a moment there, we really felt like the Thunder had that opportunity. We saw Austin Weber put one extra close to the net. Frankie McClendon had to reach back for it, ended up hurting himself with it. That forced Brian Wilson into the game. And I think when Wilson came into the game, Zach, Delaware was a little outmatched. Gosh, you are just so smart. I really love it. Yeah, a tough third period, and those last couple of minutes, the score does not really tell exactly what happened, especially because of the empty netter opportunity. but we get a chance to look at the stats right now, and I'm sure that's something that both my color commentator and I can appreciate as they are up on the screen. An equal number of shots, but not an equal number of saves. Really wild how these teams just were neck and neck with each other the whole time. A well-coached game from Brian Verbeek, but it was just a bounce here or there that prevented the Thunder from really being able to get back into this contest. And we are disappointed for them tonight, but know that they will bring great things next week as they go up against Elmira. But take a look at when those goals were scored. All of them coming in the second half of period 3. First, it was Lugo, then Gesso at even strength, and then the even strength with the empty netter scored by Dmitry Kuznetsov. Heartbreak for the Thunder tonight, but there will be a new day in 2023. Happy New Year, everybody. Stick with us. We got the highlights from this game coming up on the Delmarva Sports Network. 3-0, your final. Danbury going back home a winner. We'll be right back. But come up short. 3-0. Danbury was explosive. Let's take a look at the highlights, friends, and see how this whole thing went down here inside the Thunderdome. Delaware, their 18th loss in a row, the 4th straight win. That goal was waved off initially. If you remember, that was the first thing to start this third period. But goaltender interference called for on the play, mainly due to Gordy Bunnell just shielding and being all over Trevor Martin. So Bunnell docked for that. That would keep this game stable at 0. And then when we came back down the other way, the closest attempt thus far, that was a really clutch save by Riley Robertson, who uses the fist to clear it out of there. Frankie McClendon would have to leave after that, so we would see Brian Wilson for the majority, but look how close. Inches away. And they say football is the game of inches. Also true here. JT Delaney had a pretty nice shot attempt later on, but Wilson Just a hawk to that puck. Got 20/20 vision and then some for it, does number 30. Chris Corrigan tried to wrap around there and tuck that one in. But the kicker was there from Wilson once more, who just stepped in and never missed a beat from Frankie McClendon. Lane tried to shield him there. That was the best opportunity of the game for Eric Oganezov, but the elbow pad save away from Wilson was huge. And then this opportunity from Malushkin just missed. It's not like Delaware didn't have their chances, people. Just didn't go. That 2-on-1 is what opened up the scoring while Danbury was on the power play. That was Evan Lugo, his 7th of the season. And then later on, the quick feed around that finds Dustin Gesso, who continues to add to his ridiculous stat line. 18 goals, 16 assists this season. He's averaging over 2 points a game. And Dmitry Kuznetsov had the open net to really put this thing out of reach. And then that's a terrible on-ice gritty. Yeah, just bad. I don't know. Not that I'm going to make a move much better there on the ice. I can barely skate forwards, let alone do any sort of dancing. But hats off to the Hat Tricks. They're able to pick up yet another win. Once again, their 4th in a row, and it also becomes their 20th of the season. Thanks for joining us here on DSN. My broadcast partner, you have any final takes here? No, 2023 is a new year, Zach. Hopefully the Thunder really step into their role and step into it well. Love that, man. Just a great piece of advice. Bring it here. All right, theatrics are over. The Thunder fall 3-0 against Danbury. It was a tough end to the season, or this calendar year, I should say, for the Thunder. 2023, though, should bring some new days. For our entire Delmarva Sports Network crew, I'm Zach Parnes. Want to give big props to Jack Kritzis, Ben Membrino, Noah Carter, and Alex Brownstein. They were our staff here tonight. Without them, I couldn't do my job. Thanks, folks. We'll see you very soon back here at the Thunderdome again for FPHL Hockey.